Zane, Chris, congratulations. You boys have made it into the final round of this competition. Now we're sending you back to your home forges to recreate an iconic weapon from history. That weapon is the Revolutionary War Sergeant Spontoon.
Now I'll be pre-testing the Revolutionary War Sergeant Spontoon. So the Spontoon is a different kind of weapon. I mean, it's a longer weapon. You know, a lot of times we have swords where you use one-handed. With a Spontoon, you got to use two-handed, and the weight's all forward. So it gives us a different feel of thrusting at a distance as opposed to cutting with a sword. The beauty of that is I have distance to protect myself. So if I can fight you from here and you're all the way out there, safer for me.
Replacing the halberd, Spontoons were used throughout the American Revolution and Napoleonic Wars by British and Hessian soldiers. Featuring a leaf-shaped spearhead, the blade had limited cutting ability. However, it excelled at thrusting into charging infantry and cavalry. A crossbar is attached to the bottom of the spearhead so the blade wouldn't get stuck into its target. Although the weapon was a brutal killer, it was primarily used as a signaling tool to direct orders to troops, as its length was easy to spot across the field. Eventually, the weapon transitioned to being purely an identifier of rank amongst the troops. However, its legacy lives on through popular culture, and you can see British sergeants wield it in the film Revolution.
So I want to test every possible piece of that weapon. It's not just about the thrusting, but if it's got an edge on the side, we're going to test your edge too. If it's got a stopper right there, we're going to test that stopper too. So all about the movements and trying to test the weapon for what it can do. The reason we use a boar carcass is because it's got very thick hide. It's a lot harder to cut into, especially when you see the slashes. It's not as obvious as a pig that's just skin. Because when you slash into that, if your blade's not sharp enough, it's not even going to cut through all the hair to get into the skin and into the carcass of the animal. Now, we chose the Spontoon to do that because the boars are aggressive. They'll come running into you. So as I'm stabbing here, something goes there, I'll cut this way or I'll slash that way because it's coming at me. So I should have a way to be able to spear into the boar carcass and see if it's gonna stop, go through, or at the same time really penetrate to keep it away at distance.
Good luck. We'll see you in 4 days.
My name is Zane Birch. I'm 19 years old. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a pirate, but that's not really reasonable right now, so bladesmithing was the secondary alternative for that. There we go. I decided to use 5160 for the blade steel because it is relatively easy to heat treat, but also holds up very well when under duress. My main goal is to elongate this piece of steel that will eventually become the blade. For the heat treat, I'm gonna be using this oven right here. It works really well with temperature control. I can keep my blade exactly the temperature that I want it for how long I want it. I'm nervous that my heat treat is not gonna go well. I could have the blade snap, I could have it warp, I could have it just not harden at all. I don't hear any tinking sounds, so that's good. Tinks are usually cracks, and it's hard, and I am so excited. I plan on finishing up my blade, and then I am going to weld my tang and my guard to my socket. That's pretty good.
My name's Chris Hedberg. I'm really looking forward to using Big Blue. I think that might be a common thing. Just to be able to hammer on some hot steel and see how it moves underneath the hammer. I'm looking forward to trying that out. I'm gonna build a Damascus billet. I got my main billet cleaned up. I'm gonna cut it and restack it, get it to the size I need, and then I can hopefully start getting the point shaped out. The crossguard being a separate piece is a concern of mine. I am gonna have to forge weld that for structural integrity reasons. Probably gonna get into some welding with the MIG welder just to reinforce everything. I decided to forge weld the crossguard on, just give it a lot more structural integrity. It's more like one piece instead of two pieces. I layered the wood up. Hopefully the difference in grain structure will help in strengthness and flexibility. I left it sort of octagonal. I think it would give a little better grip. Now it's time to get my haft attached to my Spontoon spearhead. This is a hell of a build. I'm tired, I'm sore. I think it looks awesome. I cut one. I'm good.
All right, bladesmiths, welcome to the kill test. I will take your weapon, deliver some thrusts and slashes on this wild boar carcass. Zane, you're up first. You ready for this?
Ready as I'll ever be.
All right, Zane, let's talk about your weapon here. First up, your tip is really made to thrust. It punctures really deep when I'm thrusting with it, but I can move with this weapon. You have a good bounce here. The edge here is sharp. As you can see, those are very, very deep, sharp cuts. Overall, sir, your weapon will kill.
Thank you, Doug.
All right, Chris, it's your turn. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, Chris, let's talk about your weapon here. What I love about this is when you're thrusting, I can feel the weight in front and crunch ribs as it's penetrating. Overall, sir, your weapon will kill.
Thank you, sir.
All right, gentlemen, say hello to my little friend. To test the strength and durability of your blades, we're going to be firing them out of our air cannon here into that wooden wall. All right, Zane, you're up first.
This thing is gonna launch my Spontoon, my baby, at a wall of wood. I'm an odd mixture between excited and nervous right now.
In 3, 2, 1, fire. All right, Zane. Nothing came apart. It still has the edge that it started out with. All in all, good job.
Thank you.
Nice job.
All right, Chris, you're up. Firing in 3, 2, 1, fire.
Holy.
Good job, Chris. Okay, your weapon went right in between those boards, so it actually took all the impact up here on these lugs. Everything's still straight, still sharp. I really like that pattern you've got on there. Nicely done.
Thank you.
It's nice.
Welcome to the sharpness test, the red coat stab and slice. To test the sharpness of your edge, I will take your weapon and slash and stab across this red coat. Zane, you're up first. Let's do it. All right, Zane, your edges are sharp. On the swing of that, it does cut, but what I do find here, there's a little bit of a glinting at your tip. It catches on my nail, so it rolled a little bit right there at your tip. But otherwise, sir, it will cut.
Thank you.
All right, Chris, your turn. Let's do this. All right, Chris, this is a very razor-sharp blade. Every slash and thrust was a deep cut. I do not see any damage to your edge. Overall, sir, this weapon will cut.
Thank you.
Zane, Chris, you guys have done fantastic work on these finale weapons, but there can only be one Forged in Fire champion. The judges have made their final decision, and that Forged in Fire champion is... Chris, congratulations. You are the new Forged in Fire champion.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Zane, unfortunately, your weapon took some damage during the sharpness test, which affected the efficacy of your cuts. For that reason, I'd like to invite you to shake my hand, shake your judge's hand, and then please leave the forge. Come on, my friend.
Meet you guys.
Good job, brother.
I did not win, but that's okay.
Chris, you crafted a better weapon that held up through the tests. Congratulations, you are the Forged in Fire champion, and that's a title that comes with a check for $10,000. Good job, brother. Come over here and shake our hands.
Absolutely. I just became Forged in Fire champion. That's crazy. I'm like turning inside out right now. I got the bragging rights, man. I can just keep moving ahead, keep doing what I'm doing.